Hey, you're on Bent TV with Sammi, and I'm welcoming Jonathan Duffy. Darling, welcome today.
Thank you, thank you. This is my virgin experience.
Oh, I know, and we're really excited to have you because one of the best things that ever happened with Campbell Newman coming into government was you are a refugee of him. You've had to come down here and enjoy the loveliness of Victoria.
Yes, I was smuggled out of Queensland in a barrel of Bundy rum.
We talked about you being an award-winning filmmaker, and of course it is about The Doctor's Wife, who I adore this movie, darling. Tell us about the journey for this.
Okay, well, this film, it follows myself and my partner Vincent, who is a doctor, as we made the journey moving from Brisbane into a small country community in central Queensland called Mundubbera, as an openly gay couple, and what it was like for us to do that. So
wow.
Yeah, we were understandably probably quite scared about this impending move, because Vincent had a scholarship and had to go to the country, so I took along a camera and filmed everything, and what you have is this film.
We hear so much about rural and regional areas being so different from members of our community. How did you find it yourself?
Well, we were really, we had a lot of preconceptions about what we thought we would encounter. We thought there'd be like pitchforks and burning torches. But what we found was a community that really took care of its own. And a place that we sort of called home, because it was I don't know, what I discovered about rural communities is what you get out of it is really what you put in. Both Vincent and myself really tried to become part of the community in this town, and that served us incredibly well. So
when you're actually doing this, did you sort of find when you first moved there, so it was a little bit of the case of the only gays in the village?
Well, we thought we would be, but it's impossible. Like there were other gay people.
We are out there.
We're everywhere. And what I take from that is when people actually say, "I've never met a gay person before," my response to them is that you know of.
Yeah, that's right.
They're everywhere. They really are. They and working in all kinds of jobs. It's just not as visible. But what we found was, because we were a visible couple within the community, it did sort of enable other people to be more honest with who they were. You know, we made friends who did actually come out while we were there. That unfortunately,
what a massive step for them.
I know, but unfortunately that's not in the film, because it was out of respect for that friend. They didn't want their story on camera. Yeah.
The other thing I suppose that you do find is, as you said, like being a doctor in the community, especially in a rural area, is the doctor has quite a personality in the community. So that would have actually been a lot different for you to be thrown into that. Because I mean, you're a very bright personality yourself, but to sort of be the couple about town.
It is actually a lot like suddenly becoming a celebrity overnight, because the doctor and the doctor's wife, they're roles, and everybody knows who you are. It takes an hour to buy milk. You know, you've got to do things sometimes like put your wine bottles in cereal boxes when you put them in the bin, just so that people don't think you've had a boozer the night before. It was quite an experience, being in a community where everybody knew what you were doing and in a way watched your every move. I remember there was one time where one lady asked Vincent at work how his bolognese was the night before, because a friend of hers had seen the ingredients in my shopping trolley. So
wow.
That's very close to, I think, being a new idea, you know, snapped with a coffee and a bad hair. So it was an experience.
But the other thing too, I suppose, is it gave you a chance to sort of really explore a little bit more of your artistic side, and the film has been so well received about town, and include winning an award.
Yes, that was a really incredible moment. So I won the Award of Excellence from the Canada International Film Festival, which for me was a huge pat on the back, not just because it was an international festival, but because it was a mainstream one. It wasn't purely an LGBT film festival. And one thing I have found is that it has been well received, but this film has actually probably been more well received with the heterosexual community than it has been with the gay and lesbian community. And I think it's because, I don't know, it speaks about the normal aspects of our relationship, the fact that Vincent and I are just as boring as any other couple.
Well, it shows so many people that the fact that we're your neighbours, we're the bank tellers,
Exactly.
we work at the post office, we have the same thing, getting out of bed in the morning,
Yep.
making sure you got enough food in the fridge for lunch and dinner that day, getting the kids off to school. And I think that's probably why it's been so well received in the straight community as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I've had a lot of people give me feedback where they go, you know, because I saw your film, I now understand more about how the same gay and lesbian people are to us.
Yeah, it's not just a snapshot into gay life.
No.
No. There's no sort of drugs and party boys, and we don't. That doesn't happen not every day anyway.
Not every day. No.
Now, for you, how does it feel as a filmmaker with having you on DVD and everything, and now out in the stores here in Australia, to actually walk into one of the shops? You know, I was in the big yellow record store the other day, and I tweeted a photo to you that I walked in and went, "There's Jono's movie."
It still
so
blows
exciting.
me away. It's kind of dangerous though. I've only seen it in a shop once. It's dangerous for me to see it because if I see it, I buy it.
And they go, "Oh my God, it's all sold out."
It's stupid. I buy it in the hopes that they'll get more in. So that's a little bit weird and narcissistic, I think, buying your own film.
Oh well, you know.
Eventually I might make some money out of it. Who knows? But it is. It's strange to have this tangible object. That's actually it's quite old too. You know, I started making it in 2008. So,
and we joke about you sort of being a refugee from the change of government in Queensland, but the reality is there's been so many members of our community that just couldn't hack with all of the political changes that were happening up there. So it's also not only you, but there's been many other people that have actually moved
away
down to become Mexicans.
Mexicans south of the border. It's nice and spicy down here.
Oh, well, you know, there's always lots of fun to happen. Darling, I just think it's just such a great achievement for you, and also great recognition of the amazing work that you do as a filmmaker, and I definitely want to have you back in again shortly, and we'll talk a little bit more about the amazing work you do, including stand-up.
Thank you very much.
You're with Sammi in the thick of it with award-winning filmmaker Jonathan Duffy on Bent TV.